Martin, both be charged with knowingly and willfully making a false declaration with respect to an application for tinted window exemption. It's alleged that on Monday 16th and Tuesday 17th of August 2021, the accused allegedly filled out two Ministry of Works and Transport Division applications for tinted window exemptions for their respective motor vehicles. These exemption forms reflected that they were both police officers in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, when in fact Sheldon Martin is employed with the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force, while his wife Petra Johnson Martin is employed as a support service representative at a shipping company. Following the approval of the applications, an investigation was conducted, finding the information submitted to be false. On May 27th, Assistant Commissioner of Police Nasruddin Prag was charged with 2 counts of misbehavior in public office in relation to this matter. Political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, says government needs to tax the top 2% of the companies to meet the wage bill. He says Massey, Answer McCall, BPTT, Republic Bank, Scotiabank and others need to be taxed.
These other big local conglomerates that are developing in Trinidad and Tobago. That is where you can get the resources and go after all of the other people who are not paying their taxes as they're supposed to pay. And if you collect all the taxes that you're supposed to collect, you get $8 or $10 billion more. And that is sustainable. And that will enable you to pay all workers.
Mr. Abdullah also asked government to answer some questions regarding the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery.
If it is still on, how can you sell the refinery to Content when you could not sell the refinery to Patriotic? And if there's no mortgage on it to now, why is it that you didn't remove the mortgage in 2020 so that you could have sold the refinery to the union's company, Patriotic?
The political leader of the MSJ made his comments at his weekly online media conference on Indian Arrival Day. Switching to sports, Novak Djokovic says he is ready for the biggest challenge one can have at the French Open when he plays 13-time champion Rafael Nadal in a much-anticipated quarterfinal on Tuesday. The pair, who have 41 Grand Slam titles between them, continue their rivalry with a men's record 59th meeting. The match starts at 19:45 BST in the Court Philippe Chatrier night session. Defending champion Djokovic said, "I like the way I've been feeling, the way I'm hitting the ball. I'm ready." Spain's Nadal, who is still finding his best level after recent fitness issues, added, "I haven't played these kind of matches for 3 months, so it is going to be a big challenge for me." Internationally, murdered Indian singer Sidhu Moosewala was hit by 24 bullets. This, health officials with access to his autopsy report have told the BBC Punjabi. Shubdeep Singh Sidhu, popularly known as Sidhu Moosewala, was shot by unidentified people while traveling on Sunday evening. He was 28. Thousands of fans have gathered outside his village home to pay respect. He will be cremated later on Tuesday. 6 people have been detained in connection with the murder. Video footage of his car showed it was sprayed with bullets, with a number of them piercing the windscreen and the bonnet. And that was the latest news to the hour. I am Roxanne Suraj. Good morning, everyone.
TTT News, delivering more news more often to more people. TTT News, reporting on the people, events and issues that affect your life. TTT News, online and fully interactive at TTT Live Online. TTT News, first at 6:30 p.m. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs, gyms and playmats, playpens, cribs, baby swings, changing tables, diaper bags, clothing and accessories, and the widest range of educational toys. We carry Infantino, Dr. Brown, Avent, Graco, Chico, Fisher-Price, VTech, Leapfrog, Disney Baby, Delta Children, Medela, and Twist Shape. Visit us in-store at Forces flagship McBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like woods.
Tactical.
If I had so much
This place.
outside of the community.
So we know what I'm a young leader.
Music is the healing.
Find a new skill to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You can go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show. Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe. Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Hi, this is David Rudder, and I'll see you at Suite 100 Jazz in June. See you.
Yeah, yeah, ooh. On your belly. If you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun. One nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know.
Good morning to you, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome inside the Now Morning Show. It is Tuesday, the 31st day of May, the final day of May. I hope that you enjoy the month for the most part. This morning, I'm joined by Kimberly D'Souza and Natasha Lake is back. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Rockers. Hey, Tash, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you all doing?
Nice, nice.
I good. Well rested, I think. I got one solid day of rest.
Congratulations.
I slept for like half a day on Sunday.
Isn't that the best when you get to sleep for that long?
Yes and no. Because you wake up feeling like you slept too long, but then you didn't sleep enough. It's be a kind of mixed bag of feelings.
I don't know what that feels like.
No, because you have entire weekends of rest and relaxation.
When I get a good night's sleep, I get a good night's sleep. I was in the office yesterday, though, doing the needful, so I was here working. But apart from that, yeah, I mean, when I get a good night's sleep or a good 5 hours, 6 hours, I don't wake up, I'm feeling refreshed and good to go.
I don't have that joy.
How was LA? Talk to me now.
What? It was great. I actually got sunburn, imagine that.
You went all the way to Los Angeles to
get sunburn? Yeah.
Go ahead now. You better have better stories than that because
sunblock is important, guys.
Story.
Sunblock is important. No, but it was incredible. I have to say, everybody there was so friendly. Everybody worked so hard. I think that was one of the most inspiring things that I saw. I had the joy of meeting a lot of first generations Caribbean people. Trinis were there as well, and it was great to see the camaraderie come together. I went to an event for ODOS, which is 1 degree of separation, bringing creatives together under one platform and really pushing them out to the world. And let me tell you something, it was monumental. It was, I think for some of us, we felt like it was a piece of history that we were living, and it was great. Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, congrats. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did, and I'm happy to come back and get some new chairs.
I wish you could have said that with a straight face.
I mean, they're comfortable. It's like,
I believe the Rocker.
Thank
Stop
you.
it. I believe you.
Thank you.
Happy
They're
to
Let
have
me
you
say
back.
good morning to all the fantastic folks that were at the North Coast Jazz Festival over the weekend. I walked through the crowd and everybody said, oh my God, Rockers, we love the show. We love to watch it. So morning to everybody who's watched the show and who was up at the festival. I know you guys had fun at the festival as well. So congratulations to all the organizers and stuff. I see over the weekend, the creative industries, we lost Gregor Breedy.
I saw that, yes.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
I saw that, yeah.
Gregor passed away, I think it was yesterday. And, you know, I want to extend condolences to his family, his friends, all the colleagues, everybody who would have worked with him over the years. And we hope that you guys are able to find some peace. I know it was sudden and it feels sort of dramatic. For those of you who don't know Gregor, was a choreographer extraordinaire, dancer extraordinaire. He worked with many different communities in ensuring, you know, that they achieve greatness. So this morning, we send condolences again going out to all his family, all his friends. May he rest in peace, and everybody who needs to find comfort as soon as they can. Also, over the weekend, there was lots of things that happened. One of them happened in Atlanta. Kes had a show, well, he had a couple of shows over the weekend. And in Atlanta, unfortunately, the show was shut down. We have a clip that we can run, actually, of a lady giving us outside footage of what happened. This is the police and all that stuff outside.
Right.
I don't know if you can actually hear the audio or not.
Kes in Atlanta. Just imagine that. Just imagine. Fire department said too many people inside. They put the lights on. The only thing they didn't do is play the anthem. And then the police and them come. They come inside and say, you gotta leave. Look at what's happening outside on the streets of Atlanta. Never in Trinidad. Oh, 2023.
Well, yes,
True
there you have it.
Wow.
There. You see, so first-hand account of what was taking place. She went to see Kes in concert, and unfortunately, it got shut down. Never in Trinidad.
It's just how she said the only thing they didn't do is play the anthem. Like a typical Trini.
It's the commentary for me.
Love it.
Yeah.
But was it an indoor space? Which is
It
why
seemed
they...
to be,
yeah.
So there
Because
would be
I feel
limitations, and I mean there often are, right?
Right.
Any event that you're doing, you know, you need to have permission from the relevant authorities,
Of
and they have a
course.
limit and capacity and all that stuff.
Of course.
So I don't know if it's never going to happen in Trinidad.
Yeah.
As we've seen events get shut down in Trinidad already,
yeah.
but you know, we understand the capacity that we're aiming for most times. So maybe they over or underestimated the pull that Kes would have had.
I think so.
I think they
so.
underestimated it, but I mean, it's great for us to see one of our artists be able to pull so many people.
Yeah.
To go, yeah.
I mean, but on a lighter note, though, I know that the Tobago Carnival Committee, they have been doing some stuff, and so they met recently, and they're saying that they are going to be allocating a 2 to 4 week program to complete the schedule. What she did say, however, this was the chairman of the committee, she's saying that they may not have competitions as we're accustomed to.
Yes.
So we may not have the competition, she said, but you can expect soca, you can expect pan, you can expect the fets, but they really want to focus on the cultural showcase, the cultural aspect of the festival, rather than the calypso competition or whatever.
I am here for
now,
that.
It hasn't been set in stone as yet. They're still like going through the discussions, but at the outset now, it's only going to be about a cultural showcase. It's not going to be about competitions, but you will still get your soca, your pan, and your fets. And I think that's something to look forward to.
I definitely am looking forward to it. I know I as an advocate against the competition long time now, but that's a whole other story. We have a fantastic show in store for you guys this morning, so I encourage you guys to stick around. It's the Now Morning Show this morning. We'll be chatting with the Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. We'll be talking about updated travel protocols and requirements as it relates to no more TT travel pass from tomorrow,
From
right?
tomorrow,
From
June 1st,
tomorrow.
Yeah. So unvaccinated people can come now, but of course they have to have the negative PCR test. But we're going to be talking to the corporate communications manager, so I believe she will give us all the details on that. So looking forward to
Certainly.
that.
Of course, we also have the University of the West Indies joining us on set this morning to chat about some courses available for you as you think about your future and what's possible and what's not. And also we have Shamla joining us for Unique Not Different, so you can look forward to that. Tash is back. Kimberly is here with us. My name is Raucus. We here till 8 a.m. Stick around, it's in our morning show.
Welcome to the 53rd General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union from August 15th to 17th at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort in beautiful Tobago. This year's theme, Media and Information Literacy. Tobago is a smaller sister in the twin island republic of Trinidad and Tobago, nestled in the heart of the Southern Caribbean. Enjoy 116 square miles of historical sites and award-winning eco-friendly land and marine spaces, including the magical Nylon Pool. And you're just a ferry away from a Trinidad adventure. Our warm hospitality, rich cuisine, and unique traditions will inspire you to extend your stay. Tranquil Tobago is where the Caribbean connects for the 53rd CBU Assembly. To register and enjoy discounts on Caribbean airline flights, visit www.caribbroadcastunion.org. Come and experience beyond ordinary.
Over the years, technology has greatly enabled improvements in the delivery of services to the market, contributing in no small measure to the ease of doing business in Trinidad and Tobago. Being at the TTSEC, I get the opportunity to help steer the Commission towards finding innovative solutions to regulating the sector. I am TTSEC.
Exalted Lord, our God, and worship His holy name. For His mercy, exalt Him, sky, exalt Him, before, exalt Him, exalt every nation, exalt Him, all creation, great and small, exalt the Lord.
TTT News, online and fully interactive. Follow us on social media at TTT Live Online.
Greetings, I am Lou.
And I am Muhammad. And we are Freetown.
And we will be performing at Sweet 100 FM Jazz.
June 4th at the Hyatt Waterfront. Can you feel the love that's in the air? If you feel it, let me hear you say.
A fusion of our culture and music.
We will be coming with all our vibes, all our love, and all our stories for every single one of you.
Love.
Respect.
Straight off the jumbo jet. Hey, straight off the jumbo jet. Hey, straight off the jumbo jet. Hey, straight off the jumbo jet. Straight from the airport, straight in the head.
Well, the place is kind of open, but kind of way. Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. If you are interested in traveling to Trinidad and Tobago from wherever you are in the world, if you want to come straight off the jet and go to a party, you might be able to do that because the TT Travel Pass is no longer going to exist from tomorrow. But this morning, we shine a spotlight on the Airport Authority with Kimberly.
On May 25th, the government announced the discontinuation of the TT Travel Pass system, which means from tomorrow, June 1st, unvaccinated passengers can once again enter TNT. And with me to discuss what is still needed for travelers who enter the country is the Manager of Corporate Communications at the Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Zola Joseph. Ms. Joseph, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Good morning, Mr. Souza. Good morning to your viewers.
Now, Ms. Joseph, I mean, from tomorrow, unvaccinated passengers no longer need to present that TT Travel Pass, but what do they still need if they want to enter the country?
Well, passengers are advised that they would still need to present either a negative PCR or antigen test to their relevant airline at the point of departure. Now, the test should be taken no longer than 48 hours prior to entry into Trinidad and Tobago. And there will also be some level of monitoring by the Ministry of Health, by Port Health at the point of entry once they arrive. But of course, it will not be the process that was held prior with the TT pass, travel pass system. So according to the Ministry of Health, passengers who do not present a negative COVID-19 test on arrival must go into state-supervised quarantine at their cost and must provide a negative PCR or antigen test at any time during their quarantine period. So the authority warmly welcomes this ease of restrictions. We believe that more persons will be inclined to travel through the Piarco and A&R Robinson International Airports. It's good news that now unvaccinated non-nationals can enter through A&R Robinson International Airport in Tobago once they provide that negative PCR or antigen test. And we have all systems, all safety and operational systems in place, and we are prepared to facilitate an increase in travelers to Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, Ms. Joseph, you mentioned that there's still going to be some monitoring from the Airports Authority. What is that going to look like?
Well, we work with our stakeholders, with the Ministry of Health. We work under the guidance of the Ministry of Health. We work very closely with the CMOHs at St. George East, Dr. Osafa Fraser, and Dr. Tiffany Hoyt in Tobago. And so there will be minimal monitoring by Port Health upon arrival. And they will, just check to ensure that persons come in with a negative PCR. But it will not be what was there before. So what it means is that there is an easier, a smoother process for travelers. There's an easier experience, a higher quality experience at our airports. We are enhancing the travel experience and enhancing what people experience at our airports and making the whole process smoother. And so with that, we anticipate that more persons will be inclined to travel, and especially coming up to our July vacation peak travel period, we will have more persons traveling.
Now, Ms. Joseph, the normal restrictions in terms of mask wearing and washing of hands still remain. Are there going to be anybody on the ground just monitoring people as they come in to ensure that they follow these public health regulations?
Yes, we continue to monitor our health regulations, and we continue to have those in place. Face masks are required for entry into terminal buildings and must be worn throughout the terminal buildings. And passengers are encouraged to use the hand sanitization stations that we have placed throughout the terminal buildings as well. Physical distancing is also encouraged. So notwithstanding the ease of restrictions, we continue to ensure that we review our safety systems. We have maintained rigorous cleaning, disinfection, and sanitization regimes. So we continue with that. We use a combination of electrostatic foggers and manual disinfection. We use chemicals that have active protection against COVID for up to 7 days. So we continue we know that the pandemic is not over. So we continue to enforce and maintain high standards of cleaning, disinfection, and sanitization at our airports. So that continues. Our protocols remain in effect, but we have the ease of restrictions where we are a little bit more relaxed, and so passengers can have an enhanced experience at our airport facilities.
Now, as you mentioned, the anticipated increase in travelers coming into the country, is the authority concerned at all about maybe, catching a new strain of the COVID-19 virus or even the monkeypox, as has been, reported in some jurisdictions?
Well, we work very closely with the Ministry of Health, and we have measures in place where we are reviewing and monitoring. Even where it comes to the monkeypox, that conversation has begun at the airport. So we are monitoring consistently and continually with our stakeholders, with the Ministry of Health, with Port Health, to ensure that our nation remains safe, to ensure that we have high standards, to ensure that we implement international best practice in terms of airport safety, and work with our local and international stakeholders to ensure that our passengers remain safe and to ensure that we inspire confidence in persons to travel through our airports once again.
Now, while the ANR Robinson International Airport is smaller, I mean, will protocols be different? Because I know that you're talking about that influx in passengers coming in. I'm just wondering if the authority will have the required workers on the floor to deal with, the rush of people that's going to be coming in for that peak period.
Yes, we are ensuring that we have the requisite manpower, that we have, that we continue to train our staff to continually and consistently ensure that our high quality safety and health standards are met. We did achieve the Airports Council International Health Accreditation. And so that means that our systems are aligned with international best practice. And we are doing all that we can and making every effort to ensure that our systems align with the Ministry of Health's guidelines and international health and airport best practice.
Now, Ms. Joseph, I read that facilities have been expanded to cater for autistic and disabled people at both the PIACO and the ANR Robinson International Airports. Can you share some more on this?
Yes, we would like to increase our facilitation where it comes to the disabled and the differently abled and the autistic. And we would like to, very, very soon, we will introduce a program where persons can register with us, inform us when they will be traveling through our airports, and we can have special facilitation for those with autism. We have begun training our staff with autism awareness. So we are very ensuring that our staff are oriented and understand how to facilitate these passengers. And we want to ensure that we increase our facilitation. We have increased the number of parking spots for the disabled, and we have formed alliances with the differently abled agencies and the Autistic Society of Trinidad and Tobago. We have formed a committee. We are doing things where we are going through the airports and ensuring that everything can be streamlined and aligned to ensure the most excellent facilitation for those, our passengers who are autistic or who are differently abled. So that is a system that we will have. We will have ID cards where persons can register and be a part of our airport community. So we are alerted when you're coming to the airport, and we have a special facilitation for those persons. So you will hear more about that as time goes along.
And Ms. Joseph, any updates on the airport's expansion program at the ANR Robinson International Airport? I believe a new wing was launched recently.
Yes, there was a new domestic arrivals wing that was introduced, was opened recently, and this we are doing all we can in terms of working with our stakeholders, working with the MIDCO, working with the Ministry of Works and Transport, and the Tobago House of Assembly to ensure that the airport facilities in Tobago are enhanced and expanded to better serve our passengers and to better serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago and our international visitors. So we're working hand in hand with all stakeholders, and we'll keep you updated on how those expansions will go.
Nice. And Ms. Joseph, finally, anything else you would like to add before we close?
I would like to welcome international visitors. I think we've come to a point where in the pandemic where we can be more relaxed and more at ease, still understanding that it exists. I think we have a culture now where we understand that we must observe the 3 W's. We must wash our hands. We must wear our masks. We must watch our distance. And, we have that culture now. So we can have personal and individual responsibility, and we can travel. We can. I encourage persons to plan your July-August vacation. I encourage persons to do that Disney World trip with your family if if this is the time, even as the pandemic moves towards an endemic stage, that we would like to inspire confidence in persons that they are safe to travel once again.
Nice. Ms. Joseph, thank you so much for joining us on Now and just sharing, what the Airports Authority is doing to ensure that we're ready for those passengers who will be coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And that was Ms. Zola Joseph, who is the Corporate Communications Manager at the Airports Authority, just sharing some information now that the TT Travel Pass system will no longer be in effect from tomorrow, June 1st. And now we're going to take a look at a video that the Airports Authority did, just ensuring that we are following those protocols and that everybody is safe when they arrive at both the Piarco International Airport and the airport in Tobago. Take a look.
Welcome to the Piarco International Airport. It's probably been a while since you've been to the airport. With that in mind, we've put together a travel safety guide to explain the new process when traveling. Our number one priority is your safety and well-being. We took immediate actions when COVID-19 started and followed procedures and guidelines in accordance with the international best practice and advice from the Ministry of Health. Here are some changes you will see the next time you visit us at Piarco. Drivers dropping passengers in the drop-off zones must pay attention to all traffic regulations. Only passengers are allowed in the check-in area. Passengers who may need assistance will be allowed one person to accompany them into the check-in area. Wearing a face mask is mandatory for entrance and throughout the terminal. On entering, you will be greeted by airport personnel who will check your travel documents and direct you to the temperature and hand sanitization stations. We have configured our check-in queues to maintain physical distancing. There are stickers on the floor to act as reminders. Plexiglass screens have been installed at all the check-in counters to protect both employees and passengers while interacting. Passengers are encouraged to use the airline's web check-in services or the self-check-in kiosks in the airport. This will allow you to get through the check-in process quickly. For now, you will need to join the queue to the check-in counter to have an airline agent verify your documents, such as your PCR test results and other destination requirements. Once you have obtained your boarding pass, please exit the check-in area and head up to the departure lounge so we can allow other passengers in to complete their process. Standby passengers should proceed to the atrium after ticket purchase and only return to the check-in counter when their name appears on the flight information screen. We have over 1,200 floor markers to guide physical distancing and have increased signage to help you through your journey. There are also hand sanitization stations at various points throughout the terminal for your use. At the security checkpoints, we have reconfigured it to ensure physical distancing. Please pay attention to the various signs and follow the guidance of officers for smooth and faster processing. Your passport bio page and departing flight details should be on hand. At Piarco, we have implemented an intense cleaning and sanitization program for all surface areas, counters, touch points, and security trays. Please remember to continue to wear your masks and observe distance seating while waiting for your flight in the departure lounge. International passengers arriving at Piarco International Airport will be required to identify themselves as vaccinated or unvaccinated and will be directed to respective areas to be processed at health screening stations. At this point, there will be temperature screening and the verification of documents such as PCR test results and travel authorization certificates. Quarantine orders will be issued to unvaccinated nationals of Trinidad and Tobago. Following this, passengers will join the immigration queues. Physical distancing is required, and we have floor markers to assist you while queuing to meet with immigration officials. Please be reminded to use the hand sanitization stations provided. Passengers are reminded that face masks are required throughout our terminals, and you should have your documents and passport bio page on hand. The customs and baggage collection area will be your last stop at our facilities before continuing your journey. Please maintain all protocols and observe the signage and directions of the officers. Your safety is our #1 priority, and we are making every effort to ensure that you can have the confidence to travel once again. This is just the beginning. We are planning for a busier terminal and better times ahead with your cooperation. We have missed you, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the Piaku International Airport.
DBest Baby Registry is here. At dbesttoys.com, we want to help you get everything needed to comfortably welcome your new baby. dbesttoys.com is loaded with all the baby essentials to suit your style and safety needs and to fit everyone's budget. Parents can create their baby registry from the comfort of their homes. Just log on to dbesttoys.com and click on the registry tab. Browse all our items from cribs, strollers, car seats, walkers, and bouncers to feeding and nursing accessories, potties, play mats, clothing, and sensory toys. And simply click Add to Registry. Parents also enjoy 10% off their remaining items in their registry upon completion. Be gifted with what you really need to keep your baby happy and healthy and create the best baby registry at dbesttoys.com today.
Don't make them ask. Wear your mask.
For generations, hard work and good advice have been essential. So when hard work gives me tough pain, I rely on Panadol Ultra that relieves fast 5 types of tough pain. Take good advice. Take Panadol Ultra. For pain relief, we have a Panadol for you. Take good advice. Take Panadol.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
TTT News, delivering more news more often to more people. Follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. Log on to www.ttt.live.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody.
It's your girl Didi, and we are back with another episode of We Outside. You know we have been hitting you with events week upon week. Greatness happening, and it continues to happen.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I looking good, I feeling good, I real good, I real.
We still like dogs without a bone. If we have the money alone, because appreciation.
The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, alongside NALIS, actually, they'll be hosting Inmates Exhibition, the 11th installation of it, launching tomorrow. And this morning, I want to welcome the Programs Officer at the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Mr. Wendell Bompart, alongside Ms. Debbie Goodman, who's the Manager of Corporate Communications at NALIS, to chat about the Inmate Art Exhibition 2022. Good morning and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Morning, Rockers. Morning. One of the Programs Officers of the TNT Prison Service.
Oh, my humblest apologies, sir.
That is okay. That's okay. That's okay.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good, good. Thanks for having us.
Not a problem. So let me start with you, Wendell. Are you hearing me, Debbie?
On and off.
All right. Let me start with Wendell. Wendell, I want to know the importance of this this program that happens annually with regards to the prisons and the prison inmates.
Well, annually, actually it hasn't happened, of course, for the last couple of years due to COVID. But I mean, from early as 2009, 2010, the prison service, we have been involved coming out of the initiative from an officer some years ago around that time, Mr. Ronald Morgan, who was based at the Carrera prison and saw the talent, that was coming out, because he decided to put forward something to bring out the artists and the talent in some of the inmates at Carrera. And Ruckus and TNT, I'm telling you, the art and the what came out, the product that came out of that particular initiative, we would have seen, of course, a drive to have, the inmates, of course, take part in more activities, not just the academics, not just the vocational aspect of rehabilitation, but this aspect of art and using their talents and honing their skills and their creativity, to unleash, some of that energy, and we would have seen that, manifested itself in so many ways over the years. It's been an awesome journey to see. So way back I think it's like 2011, 2012, being part of a Caribbean Festa, and stuff like that. And, we have inmates like Aladdin Muhammad and Nigel Mark and Leslie Huggins and these guys, who they use their acrylics, they use their watercolors, some of them use pencils, charcoal, they use their creativity, they use their imagination, they use images of celebrities that they would have seen over time, to just make this product that we see over the last few years and we are seeing today.
Nice. Well, I'm seeing some of the work showing. We're showing some of them on TV right now, and you can see the depth and the breadth of the work that these guys have been producing over the years.
Definitely. And the thing about it, some of these pieces take, of course, a short while. The artists will have the idea, because in Carrera and in some of the other prisons, there's a dedicated area for art.
Right.
So they would take the expression, they would head to the canvas, and they would bring it out, and just to see it unfold. You see, even behind me, pictures of Anya Youngchi that was done by Aladdin and some of these inmates. It's a beautiful thing to watch unfold, Ruckus.
Nice. Now, Ms. Goodman, I want to jump across to you a bit. Can you tell me why it's important for NALIS to showcase this artwork?
Oh, it's extremely important because NALIS sees, well, let me just tell you that our mandate is to develop the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And clearly, this is a promotion of and expression of persons' ability. And NALIS has a relationship with the prisons service. We've had one since 2008 when we established our first library at YTC. And then, of course, we have libraries at Women's Prison and Maximum Security Prison. And we are about promotion of persons. We are about rehabilitating persons. And this art exhibition really showcases the work the prison service has been doing in that regard. And I will tell you that art is not strange to libraries. We have been displaying artwork for quite a number of years throughout our network. And we've had Roger Boothman, we have had Kitos Anderson, we've had Jared Gittins, master artist Leroy Clark. His works were just exhibited here in the library not too long ago. So, and we also have in our collection works of art. We have Leroy Clark's, we have Carly Chan, we have Bill Trotman, we have the original paintings and drawings of Wayne Barkley, Lionel Jagasa. So we are very much into art, and we welcome this exhibition being here at the National Library from the 1st to the 15th of June.
And it's happening down in the AV room, if I'm not mistaken.
So the launch takes place in the AV room, which is on the 1st.
Right.
And then the exhibition will be mounted at the rotunda, so down on the ground floor. As soon as you enter into the library, you get to this wonderful skylit rotunda, and that's where the exhibition is going to be.
All right, fantastic. And it's launching tomorrow. Wendell, can you tell me the theme for this year?
The theme for this year, of course, is Prison Real and Imagined, you know, and that is a very fitting theme because, of course, within prison and behind prison walls, there would have been, I mean, several misconceptions, you know, ranging from, you know, people are thinking that as inmates and prisoners, that there are certain things that they, yes, are to be taken away, but also that they are to be treated a certain way. And we always see that inmates, you know, they are sent to prison as punishment and not for punishment. And people tend to forget that the fact that you've had your liberties of your freedom of movement taken away, you know, that in itself is a punishment. So it's not that when they come behind prison walls that you need to treat them as bad as possible or anything like that. The prisons over the past few years, of course, yes, we have our motto of hold and treat, but we also stand in our 5 strategic priorities, you know, of protect, correct, relate, restore, and reintegrate. And everything we do, you know, the prison service, not just the programs and industry department, not just the youth training and rehabilitation center, but everything we do as a prison service is done with a level of intentionality. So even this art exhibition tomorrow, that starts tomorrow, where we let the public once again see the artwork and the creativity coming out from behind, not just the painters and not just the sketchers, but we have some master craftsmen doing some fabulous work with palettes, doing some awesome work with wood. We have a young lady from Women's Prison doing some very intense high-tech, what I call high-tech origami. You know, you see some pieces and you're amazed that it's paper. You know, so we really hope that people, whatever concept that they may have of prison, whether it be real or imagined, that their whole perception will change or will continue to change as we continue to strive for that inclusivity, you know, of our stakeholders. So that's what we're looking for.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Wendell, and also to you, Debbie Goodman, for joining us. Thank you, and congratulations on this. I hope that we can continue to see this partnership blossom, and of course, the inmates benefit as a result of it, and hopefully it will assist in their rehabilitation to come out and pursue a career in art. You never know.
And you might never know. You might see a portrait of Rokas sometime soon. So look out for that.
We'll see.
So we just want to remind before we go, Rokas, if we allow us to just remind persons that the exhibition is going to be, it's free. You can come into the National Library building, and from 8:30 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. On Saturday, it's 9 to 12. 9 to 12. Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. As the Manager of Corporate Communications at NALIS, Debbie Goodman, alongside one of the program officers at the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Wendell Bompart. We take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.
I love the look and smell of litter. From this huge pile, I can see that many people also find it attractive.
Yes, Charlie. Litter is indeed attractive. It attracts roaches, flies and mosquitoes, and rats.
My pets.
Don't be a litter bug, Charlie. Do the right thing. Don't litter.
Whether wet or dry season, hazards can strike without warning, causing you or your family to quickly evacuate. You may not have the time to grab the essentials. Be sure to have your grab-and-go bag in easily accessible locations. Here are the top 7 categories that should be included and tailored to your family's need. 1. Non-perishable food items, water and utensils. 2. First aid kit and extra medication. 3. Personalized items. 4. Change of clothing and comfortable footwear. 5. Copies of important documents such as birth papers and certificates. 6. Cash and small bills. And 7. Tools, safety items and equipment. For more information on how to be ready, visit odpm.gov.tt. A message from the ODPM.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the questions you want answered. Exploring government policies and how they impact you.
We are delving deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Paula Gopiskun.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like woods.
Tactical. If I had so much
this place
outside of the community. So we know what I'm a young leader.
Music is the healing. Find a new skill to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You can go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
It's 6:51 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago, and the conversation continues this morning. We have with us representatives from the Ministry of Trade and Industry talking about the launch of a brand new portal, Business Information Portal. Randall Karam, the Chief Technical Operations Advisor, and we also have with us this morning Mr. Stephen Rodriguez, an SEW Technical Consultant. Now, I know when you hear SEW, you're like, what? Not sewing, though. A single electronic window. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Yes, Natasha. It is our flagship platform offered by the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Most persons watching and members of the business community are very familiar with TT BizLink. We have over 46 government e-services on the platform, and it's actually utilized by over 30,000 persons right now on a daily basis.
Well, Mr. Karam, I was going to ask you to tell me about ePortal, but I think you've already told us. What more information can you share with us this morning?
Right, so the Trade and Business Information Portal is actually a new online facility that is being offered on our TT BizLink platform. It is actually the Ministry's response to not only our international obligations under the World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement, but it is our Ministry's attempt to better serve the business community by offering new online tools to help businesses grow and expand.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, I know you, of course, would have been involved in this as well. What has it been like working on the project?
It's a great experience. You know, it's been a year-long experience, so it's very detailed analytical work that has gone into this portal. Yet the information would have been available in previous ways, but you know, sometimes in government we have information available and it's sort of in silos. You have to kind of retrieve it yourself. What we've done is we've extracted that information from agencies and outlaid it in a very easy-to-read format for persons to view it from their perspective.
So my next question, and I think it goes in line with your response, is what are some of the key features of this portal and how is it going to benefit stakeholders?
Well, Natasha, the portal is actually designed around 3 main areas: trade, business, and investment. And persons can easily go to ttbizlink.gov.tt, click on any one of those functional areas and get access to tools relating to how to register a business, steps to importing and exporting. We have automated and documented over 200 of the main business and trade procedures in Trinidad and Tobago. You can also get access to all of the major business directories under our various business associations, tools to check trade statistics, data, up-to-date data on areas of market demand, and also a lot of information related to incentives and areas for investments in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, so gentlemen, tell me something. If I would like to start a business, let's say in exporting, how is this portal going to help me get started?
Right, so that's a very common question we get across the years with the ministry. And this portal has features outlaid in 3 main areas: trade, business, and investment. And under the business area, we have a feature called Business Procedures. And that would give you the guidance as to how to comply with the regulatory requirements for starting a new business. So, for instance, it's further broken down into 3 procedures, which is namely searching for a name to make sure it's available, reserving that name, and then going on to actually register the business or incorporate the company depending on the type of entity you want to establish. And it would then outlay the different steps in a very easy to, as I mentioned, very easy to read format, step by step, showing you exactly what you need to do, the required supporting documents you need to bring to the process, the time it would take, the costs associated, and also the expected outputs that you, the individual, will get throughout the process. So you're fully aware from an end-to-end perspective what you need to do in terms of complying with the regulatory requirements to start your business.
Okay, so Mr. Rodriguez, one of the things that you mentioned there, of course, the documents that are required, let's say, to start a business. Now, sometimes, you know, things change, obviously, with time. So in a case like that, how can stakeholders ensure, and how are you going to make sure that the system is always updated?
That's a great question. So we know that sometimes when governments or even private businesses around the world, they launch a shiny new digital product, you know, it sometimes kind of after a few months it goes out of date and it becomes a little bit irrelevant. So we're taking 2 approaches to ensure that we do not fall trap to this issue. So the first measure is that we're making sure that we are building on good foundations of information that's already available. So I just mentioned 3 examples. We have the Ministry of Legal Affairs, who we've actually integrated with, where we are using their forms and all of the laws that they already have a very robust and up-to-date digital legislative library. We are connecting into that system to ensure that that always remains up-to-date. Customs, we are updating on a regular basis based on their tariff information. So any rates of duty that updates, we are getting that update as well. CSO, I must also commend CSO, who we've integrated with and who have made monumental strides to update information. As Randall mentioned, key feature is market analysis, and the CSO will be providing further updates to ensure that data is always relevant. And then also, secondly, the ministry has put in place a governance framework to ensure that all of the areas of the portal are closely monitored and subsequently monitored by senior staff to ensure that, you know, stakeholders get the latest procedures, and the latest factors of time, cost, etc.
Oh, this sounds amazing because, you know, one of the things that we always hear, let's be frank about it, in Trinidad and Tobago is when you're trying to get things done, it can take a while, you're not too sure where to go, and you might need this document, and then they go back and they say, no, you need this. Right. So this is definitely something I know that will be greatly accepted by the private and the public sector as well. Now, I say that, but what has the response been like so far for this portal?
Oh, Natasha, the response has been phenomenal. Just Wednesday, we launched the portal, and we were really privileged to have all of the major business associations in Trinidad and Tobago be part of that launch. Since the launch of the portal, we have had over 5,000 visitors to the portal already, and visitors not only locally, but those internationally. I think they recognize that the portal is really a good attempt to help make their lives easy, make business easier in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are very privileged at the private sector, and ordinary individuals have the confidence to go to the portal and help them to get the information that they need to grow and expand.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know this is something, again, that's going to be well accepted. Now, it's interesting that you said not just public, but private as well. And we're talking about international, is that correct?
Yes, of course, because I mean, those who do business in Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes they come from abroad. And that's why we have spent a lot of time designing the portal, not only for local users, but making sure the portal is built to international standards.
Okay.
And all of the relevant information that persons need before they decide to come and invest in Trinidad and Tobago is documented on the portal.
Okay, now gentlemen, is there any cost attached to this at all?
Absolutely free, absolutely free. It's simply go to www.ttbizlink.gov.tt and expose yourself to all of the benefits that the portal offers.
Well, I was just about to ask if there's any more information that you could offer to the public who might be interested. I believe you have some telephone contacts, is that correct?
Yes, it's on the portal, and as I said, the website is www.ttbizlink.gov.tt.
All right, so viewers, we do also have some telephone contacts for you. I do believe I have one of them here. The help desk for TT Bizlink, correct, is 800-4739, so you can give them a call as well. This is a very exciting initiative, and I think we're definitely moving, you know, forward a bit, something that many people have been looking forward to, and admittedly, I think is going to make business a bit easier and a bit more cost-effective, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because persons don't want to waste time running around, as
Agreed.
you said, trying to find out which forms, what information is available online. The portal is meant to make business easier, make business more transparent, and make business much more efficient.
And it's definitely going to achieve that. Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Karam, thank you so much for being with us. Mr. Raucus, how are you feeling after that? What do you think?
Excited. I mean, the TT BizLink has been around for some time, and I just hope to see it continue to evolve. So congratulations, gentlemen.
Okay, Raucus.
Definitely.
All right, guys. When we come back, we're gonna be giving away a ticket to Jazz. So I encourage you to stand by your phone lines if you want to get a ticket to go to Jazz for free right here on the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.
Change your fate. Start to win at life with $20,000 every month. Win $20,000 every month for 20 years with NLCB's newest game, Win for Life. 6 numbers from 28 plus the cash ball could make you win for life. You deserve a win. Play Win for Life today. Visit NLCBGames.com for details. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Patients that come in with sensitivity and bleeding gums, that's a red flag. I'll definitely recommend new Sensodyne Sensitivity and Gum because it has dual action. We're already using toothpaste. Why not switch it out for something that's going to help reduce both sensitivity and the gum issues?
The best birthday gifts are at thebesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices. Like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola, Lego, Nerf, and remote control vehicles, kids learning desks, and educational toys. Ride-ons, bikes, drones, science toys, and board games and puzzles, and a wide range of baby items. We also have the best devices for school, like laptops, the Amazon Fire 7 tablet, the Amazon Fire 8, 10, and Kids Edition tabs, as well as cases and accessories. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Line and Length, the #1 cricket program in the West Indies, is on TTT. Line and Length brings you up-to-date interviews, analysis, and highlights on the game in the region and internationally. Plus, there's an added bonus to receive a gift of gear each month with our grassroots program. Go to lineandlength.net to learn more. Line and Length in association with Massey United Insurance on TTT.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show. Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe. Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
If it's your birthday today, I want to wish you a happy birthday going out to you. Let me start by saying happy birthday going out to a good friend from long time, super drummer, super photographer, best actor, Mr. Elliot Francois, celebrating his birthday today. Elliot Francois, happy birthday to you, sir. I hope that you have a great day today and you enjoy it to the absolute fullest.
Elliot is a former boss of mine, so happy
You
birthday, Elliot.
used to work for Elliot?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
We worked together at a media monitoring company, and Elliot was the coolest person ever. I must say, he was a really good boss, a real good mentor. We're actually still friends to this day. Facebook didn't remind me today, however, Elliot, but it reminded Roka. So happy birthday to you. I hope you have a great day today.
She said, we're still really good friends. Yeah. I just didn't know it was his birthday. Let me also say happy birthday going out to super designer. I would admit one of my favorite designers, Mr. Marlon George, a.k.a. Dow. Distinguished attitude when wearing. And you see the attitude when wearing there?
Of course.
Marlon dressed me for my wedding. He's dressed me for several things. I even have a couple Dow suits home.
I think the jacket you wore to the Hero premiere, that was Dow, right?
That was Dow as well.
That was
the
nice.
blue one that I have, jacket. The blue suit that I have is Dow as well. Okay. Every time I wear it, people say, oh gosh, that's fitting so nice.
Yes,
it's because it's Dow, you know? Must fit nice. So big up you, Marlon. Hope that you have a great day today and you're able to enjoy it to the max. Also, want to say happy birthday going out to very talented vocalist Nikita Catsby, celebrating her birthday today. Nikita, hope that you have a fantastic day today and you sing to the top of your voice and make the angels smile and whatnot.
Definitely. She looks like she'll make the angels smile. Absolutely beautiful.
She was here on the show already singing.
Yeah, I know,
she bad.
That voice.
She bad.
I do have a belated birthday. I need to say a happy belated birthday to Nasli Lazama. I know you had a great time. I know you had a great birthday, but sending you some more blessings. And happy birthday to Selwyn Simmons. Hoping you have a great day as well.
I don't have any birthday, guys, but of course, if you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Of course, as we always say here, Ruckus has more birthdays.
No, I have anniversaries. Let me say happy anniversary. I think it's 7 years going out to my cousin Karen and her husband Daryl. Hope that you guys, I know you guys enjoyed the day yesterday, so happy belated anniversary to you. Also, happy belated anniversary going out to the Voisins, to Kia and Pat. Who would I go to call him man Patrick, yes? His name is Damien. Damien and Takia. Happy anniversary. I call him Patrick now, but it's not his name. It's not his name. That's a long story.
But. You know, as you mentioned that, I actually have a belated happy anniversary as well. Yesterday, Andrew and Fran Deven celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to you and many, many more to come.
All right. And if you want something to celebrate or if you're celebrating something and you want a ticket to Jazz to do so this coming weekend, it's on Saturday. Yes, Sweet 100 is presenting Jazz at the waterfront, the Port of Spain International Waterfront. You want to come down and be a part of it, give us a call, 622-4010. Answer a simple question. I have no idea what the question is. Kimberly's giving you the question today.
Yeah, we'll see what the question is today.
And you can win yourself a ticket, easy peasy. According to my daughter, lemon squeezy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Already, 622-4010. It's an easy question. You guys should get this right.
She gets so excited about the question, eh?
You guys should get this right off the bat. I mean, Jazz is on Saturday, guys. Do you have your white outfits already?
Of course.
Done iron and thing already? Play with me.
Ready.
I'm coming out in a full suit.
Linen? I've seen you like in a linen with a kick and stab, no?
I look like somebody grandfather. Trouble is beside here, boy.
A linen suit with a kick and stab, you know, like your hats. I've seen it, and it looks like purple color.
And you come in one of them doily looking things.
Of course.
That look like you keep your grandmother
This is Now Morning Show, you know, we have to match.
Well, I'm not going to be matching, just to let you all know. I will definitely not be wearing that.
Not cool. Not cool.
I mean, I'm all about teamwork, guys, but I don't look good in doilies.
That dream.
You don't want the doily?
No, I don't think so. No, doily is not happening. But give us a call, and you'll be celebrating Jazz with us. I'm looking forward to it, though, I have to say. It's going to be
As
great.
am I. Any particular performance you're looking forward to in particular? Tash?
I'm looking forward to Destra.
Of course,
she is the queen of Bacchanal, and she has such an amazing range, so I'm really looking forward to her performance. I'm looking forward to Freetown Collective, because, you know, we just...
I hear they're right.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to test them and see, you know, how well they do. But looking forward to a lot of the performances. And I think just to be outside, spend time with family, friends, you know.
You can imagine the sunset on now.
It's going to be amazing.
She done book his spot for she IG pictures and things like that.
Of course. I mean, Tasha understands when that golden hour happens and you get the nice pink hues of the sunset.
Listen, I have a spot to show you. I found a new spot a few weeks ago.
At the
You're going to love
waterfront?
it. Yeah. It's pictures of life.
Of course.
This Olia?
Ruckus knows he's going to be sneaking across by us to get pictures.
Bonnie is on the line. Good morning to you, Bonnie.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm hardly hearing you.
All right. Kimberly, talk to her and see if she hears.
Bonnie, hi, morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you ready to win a ticket to Jazz that's coming up on this Saturday?
Yes, I'm really ready.
All right, good. So Nyla Blackman is going to be performing with her band. What is the name of her band?
Oh.
Bonnie is still there?
No, I'm not sure of the name of her band.
I go help you. Hey, you! What you want?
Bonnet, all right. We have to give somebody else a chance, though, Bonnet. So sorry, but quickly say good morning to anybody who's listening.
I know. I saw.
Bonnet still there?
No, she can't get good morning. If she ain't when you take her to give her Bonnet, we don't have time for that.
That was such an easy question. Yeah, that was easy.
Okay.
Look how easy. I mean, Rockers figured it out. Rockers help. And there's the flyer again. There's the flyer again on the screen, guys.
It's written on the screen?
It's supposed to be there.
All right, then don't show the flyer too long.
It is written on the screen.
6224010. Our director this morning is on point.
Yes, like,
good morning to you, Carlos.
Listen, he gets your flash for 2 seconds and you remove it.
Yes, he on Toko Point. Let's call him Sans Sushi this morning.
So the event is starting at 4 p.m., is that correct?
Yes, it's actually the gates open at 3 p.m.
Oh, nice. Starting at 4.
Performances kick off from 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you get to have some daylight hours and then you get to see the sunset while you listen to some jazz, some soca, nice fusion, man.
Listen, and it's drinks inclusive too.
Premium
drinks inclusive. So make sure that you have your designated driver.
If all you do see me in the white linen after a little while,
you see the white linen. You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
I'm not wearing no linen.
I mean, you like to iron.
I do not.
Listen.
I despise iron.
Rockers is going to be there in his white linen and we're going to take a picture. But Shagonas is on the line. Shagonas, good morning. Welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you this morning? Ready to win that ticket?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm keeping the same question. Let's see.
You should have changed the question.
Well, tell me.
What's the name of Patrice Roberts' band?
What is what?
What is the name of the band that will be backing Patrice Roberts at the show on Saturday?
Mr. T. 18.
Yes!
I love it. She said Mr. T.
I know it was something like an A, and
congratulations,
yeah,
you just won yourself a ticket to the Sweet 100 Jazz Show on Saturday.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to say good morning to quickly before we go?
Oh gosh, everybody who listening, everybody.
All right, congratulations.
We take a quick break, guys, and we come back with more. Don't forget, it's happening this Saturday, Sweet 100 Jazz. It's a music fusion event. You don't want to be anywhere else. If you don't have your tickets, get them now. And congratulations to Shagonas. Take that break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
Every day, we aspire to be better at what we do. Deliver more news more often to more people. We are your news team, reporting on the people, events, and issues that affect your life. TTT News, first at 6:30 p.m. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant. TTT News, nightly at 6:30.
Don't make them ask. Wear your mask.
The best laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com. Get an Evo 11.6-inch ultra-thin notebook, a Gateway 11.6-inch FHD ultra-slim notebook, a Gateway 14.1-inch ultra-slim notebook, a Gateway 11.6-inch 2-in-1 convertible notebook, or an HP 14-inch laptop at the best prices in TNT. Get the Fire 7 tablet for $474. We also carry Fire HD 8 tablet, Fire HD 10 tablet, and the Amazon Kids Edition 7, 8, and 10-inch tabs. You can also shop the latest Amazon Fire Sticks. Call now at 32-DBEST to order, or visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Free delivery available throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Cash or links on delivery. The best deals on laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com.
The Division of Education, Innovation and Energy's e-learning program for primary and secondary school students resumes. Tune in daily to stay on top of your studies. Lectures designed to guide you so that you keep up with your subjects. Also, for supplemental lessons and worksheets, visit our interactive website at www.thadeie.gov.tt.
It's now 15 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, this morning we're going to be discussing the connection between abused children and children who come from what can be termed as broken homes to crime in the prison system. With me is criminologist and social psychologist Professor Ramesh Deosaran. Professor Deosaran is a former independent senator, and he's also the former director of the Center for Criminology and Criminal Justice and Psychology Research at the University of the West Indies. Professor, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Now, Professor, before we jump in, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the recently released Judith Jones report. I mean, I'm sure you would have read it. Any thoughts on this and some of the things that those children would have had to endure while being at those homes?
You mean their treatment at these homes?
Yes, the mistreatment that they suffered, yes.
Yeah, well, as far as the reports go, these children have not been treated quite well, and most of them are their adolescent stage, a stage where children need a particular kind of care and understanding. But that hasn't happened according to the first report we have from 1997, what is called the SABGA report. And consequently, we had one in 2021, the Justice Judith Jones report. So there are three questions here. Before we reach to the core issue of abuse and the consequences, why are relatively so many children have to be put in these foster homes and these what we call children homes? I mean, the question of parenting is a very serious issue, a very serious responsibility, and it is a lack of good parenting, even as the children themselves said while they're in the homes. Many of them said they have been put in this home because of parents who are not there. About 70% of them live without both parents. Now, that is a tragedy for a country like ours, because the question now arises, having been put in these children homes, I think there's over 40 of them, apart from the foster care homes. You have almost 1,000 children at the last count in these homes. But the issue doesn't stop there. The tragedy begins when these children leave these homes uncared for, with what I call broken hearts and broken minds. They have not been properly cared for, so they become very frustrated. They lose their sense of identity, their self-esteem gets damaged. And when they leave these homes, and we haven't had a count, that is where we need to make the connection between when these children, uncared for as they were, leave these homes, where do they end up? It is quite plausible to say, as we have found out in the remand yard, that a large proportion of them end up as delinquents, further delinquents, end up in crime, and the pipeline goes into the prisons. And then in the prisons, they get worse. So you can't stop merely at the conditions in these homes and the care. We have to extend the analysis to find out what happens to these children, having been so uncared for and abused. What happens to them? The answer lies in a lot of crime being committed now. If you retrospectively trace, you will find a lot of these boys and girls who come from these homes get involved in crime and other deviant forms of activity. It is logical. So what we need now is a crusade, as it were, a large-scale effort by the government and these NGOs, the people who manage these homes, to look at what happens afterwards to these children. So that is my serious point. I understand concern over the physical conditions, nutrition, and so on. But the consequence of having been in these homes with broken hearts and living with fractured minds, meaning they have no goal set, they feel very disenchanted, they feel neglected. What do you expect of children leaving a home in such psychological conditions?
But Professor Deosaran, as you mentioned the 1977 SABGA report, I was reading that you actually did a follow-up on the report, I think a few months in 1997 after the SABGA report was published. And you're saying that you had some findings from that report. Can you share what were some of the findings coming out of the report that you did? And also what were some of the recommendations?
This is the report.
Yes.
The findings confirm what I am saying, because just after the Sabga report in October 1997, about 3 months after, the Canadian government, through the Canadian International Development Agency, provided funds for me to do the study, because it appears that the Sabga study was incomplete in the sense that it dealt mainly with the conditions, the physical conditions, and also things like food, nutrition, sleeping facilities, and so on. But the fundamental question is, well, what are the consequences of such conditions on the minds and future behavior of these children? And that is what we entered into doing. We examined the children, not the buildings, because to me the children had equal importance as the buildings. So the question you ask is the fundamental question, and that is what we inquired into. And we found that the children were disenchanted, they experienced frustration, so they had no goal set. They had no goal set, that they were not trained to think about a future. So we discovered all those things, and I believe then, and more so now, that we ought to look at where these children go, because what we have found in the study that we did in October, we produced a report to the government in October 1997. This report went to the government just after the Sabga report, and we advised that both reports be integrated to answer in a more all-round way the fundamental questions of healing the physical conditions, but also healing the broken hearts and minds of the children at the same time. Because there's no sense fixing up the buildings and so on, and the children still remain uncared for with bad management, which is another issue. The people who are in charge of management of these homes, they have to be more properly trained, monitored, and have some accountability, because the consequences upon the children, as we have seen from this report, the report we produced in October 1997, the consequences upon the children are very serious. And it seems as if people, they have to buck up and look at this, as well as what they have looked at, the physical conditions and the staffing and so on. So we thought the report would be supplemental to what the Sabga report had. That is, you look at the physical conditions as well as the psychological state and consequences upon the children. Otherwise, it will be a 0-0 outcome, because the children will leave. And they will continue into deviance and wayward behaviors.
Now, before we go to the recommendations that you suggested, just walk me through how it happens. So they come from these homes, they might be abused, they might have some self-esteem issues, etc. Is it that they are vulnerable and so they fall in with the wrong crowd? How exactly do they make that transition from the home to a life of crime?
You have hit upon the crucial issue. They are vulnerable psychologically and sociologically. That is, their minds are not strong enough to resist temptation. Socially, they get involved with friends who are also deviant. That is the logical step into which they will move. And with that vulnerability, they enter into gangs, because in gangs they get shelter, they get their self-esteem restored, ironically. They gain some respect from their peers who are also gang members. So we create a new channel, an alternative lifestyle. This becomes an alternative lifestyle to compensate for the psychological deficiencies that they have endured while in these homes. So that is the route we ought to look at. It cannot be a one-stop analysis. It has to have several stops along the way, including the very important point that you made. They are vulnerable to temptation. You see, moral restraint, meaning when you have temptations, you must have the moral resistance not to fall into temptation. And that is important for adolescents to understand and to be trained into. But they haven't had that. So their moral resistance is weak because they have not been shaped into that kind of character in the schools. They have been carelessly looked after. They have just been fed and housed in dilapidated ways from the Sabga report and the Judith George report. So we need to recuperate. and have a new vision about these children, because the consequences are very tragic.
Now, Professor, how do they recuperate? Is it as simple as offering therapy or offering, mental health services? Is it as simple as that?
Mental health, it is partly a mental health issue, because we saw hope in that. We call these children, in a sense, in the report, children of hope, because some of them understand what's happening. Even though they are vulnerable, there's a piece of their mind that tells them, listen, what is happening is wrong. What is happening will lead me to a deviant future. So we ask them questions like that. What would you like to do? What will be your top priority when you leave here? A lot of them said, well, I like to have more education. I like to have a job. But they didn't say it with the conviction as you would get from somebody in the normal school system. But there's a shadow of possibility there where you can use those responses and build on it, and that could cause some empowerment. So all is not lost. You could build with the little we have in these children from the homes and reshape them into where they would really like to go. Jobs, further education. Of course, they will be left with no parents. So 70% of them, they said they have both parents not at home. Some of them about 10% live by themselves. Could you imagine young boys, 14, 15 years, living by themselves? So this whole question of parenting at the beginning and the question of drifting into crime and prison at the other end, we have to connect those two things. And this is a country where people get absorbed in denials. We have all kind of ideology about parenting, and I don't want to get into that now, but the correct thing to do for these children, because we asked, there was a related study we did in the primary schools. What would you like to have? Single mother, single father, or both parents at home? And almost 100% of the children, 9, 10 years, told us we like both mommy and papi at home, so to speak. Children want both parents home. This whole thing about family life is not just for a husband and a wife or a man and a woman. The responsibility is primarily upon the children. What will happen to the children? How many children can a house afford?
So, Professor,
where are the fathers, for example?
Yeah.
So all these are fundamental questions that we have been in denial for a long time.
Now, there's something that you said where you said that you have to build on the little that they have. Given your experience, have there been any, success stories in terms of any children coming from a home and, who were given the right help, and so they eventually, went on to lead as normal as a life as possible?
Of course, there are several success stories. They might not be at the large proportion on the other side, on the dark shadow side, but they are success stories. There are children who have grown up with single mothers, poor, unemployed single mothers. And by struggle and correct behavior, over time, they emerge. Secondary school, they become professionals. There are a lot of lawyers and doctors and engineers and accountants and all skilled carpenters and plumbers who either earn money to look after themselves, who have come from poor homes. I can tell you, I know many of them who have crossed the barrier because of the small impulse they have to do better. It's like a slight heartbeat, but it gets bigger the more you walk on the path of righteousness, as it were. This heartbeat gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you find
Professor,
your right place under the sun. So there are several success stories.
Right, because in terms of the broken homes, I was more thinking about the abused homes, because I know that there are people who come from single-parent homes and they are successful. But I was just wondering, in terms of, have there been any success stories of children coming from these abused homes and they're still finding that, that right within themselves to build back their self-esteem and, of course, to be a success eventually?
Yes, I would say yes. We cannot close our eyes to that possibility. But the issue, you see, in social science and in public policy, you look at the majority cases. what you mentioned there is a minority. Successful, welcome, but it's a minority. You have to look at that. But in terms of public policy, you have to attend to the majority of those who are severely abused and where they end up. And that is the challenge facing the country from these homes now. Nice. So there is hope at the same time. But on the other hand, you need a public policy and a new system for accountability, trained managers to save these children from future damage.
Professor Deosaran, thank you so much for coming on this show and just sharing a little bit about what we've been seeing in society. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I think we should probably have you back soon again. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and a pleasant good morning to you.
You too. And that was criminologist and social psychologist Professor Ramesh Deosaran just sharing that connection between broken homes or children's homes and, of course, a life of crime. You're on the Now Morning Show. Up next, stay with us because we have Shamla with Unique, Not Different.
Not later, but no. I will make food security a reality.
I will design groundbreaking prototypes.
I will create the next life-saving vaccine.
Whatever your career aspirations, the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus is where tomorrow's game changers begin their journey. With fully accredited programs across 8 faculties, our graduates are innovating regionally and impacting globally. See what it's like to be UE. Visit sta.uwi.edu/apply.
Welcome to the 53rd General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union from August 15th to 17th at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort in beautiful Tobago. This year's theme, Media and Information Literacy. Tobago is a smaller sister in the twin island republic of Trinidad and Tobago, nestled in the heart of the Southern Caribbean. Enjoy 116 square miles of historical sites and award-winning eco-friendly land and marine spaces, including the magical Nylon Pool. And you're just a ferry away from a Trinidad adventure. Our warm hospitality, rich cuisine, and unique traditions will inspire you to extend your stay. Tranquil Tobago is where the Caribbean connects for the 53rd CBU Assembly. To register and enjoy discounts on Caribbean airline flights, visit www.caribbroadcastunion.org. Come and experience beyond ordinary.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show. Trinidad and Tobago, the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. But in 2020, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic hit us with a complete shutdown.
Trinidad and Tobago can anticipate even higher numbers of persons contracting the COVID-19 virus.
However, with the ability to get vaccinated,
we have received our first tranche of COVID-19 vaccines, 33,600.
Our cultural ambassadors are able to travel and create opportunities. This is Hands-On, where we highlight those who have taken up the responsibility of representing us and our vibe. Wednesdays on the Now Morning Show.
Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. 34 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it's time for Unique Not Different with Shamla. Shamla, are you there with us? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How you doing? How you doing?
so far, so good, Shamla. How are you?
I'm really thinking hard here. How you doing? Things good?
Yeah, man, I can't complain. How was your weekend?
It was good, workable. Real workable. How was your weekend?
Busy, very busy. I do plenty working. So far, that's so workable.
Yes.
Plenty work.
Same
So
here. Life is a hustle.
Yeah. So what we discussing this morning?
Well, we're supposed to discuss the issues facing disability, the disabled community in Trinidad and Tobago. So we were planning on going to talk about things like transport, housing, social development, public spaces, and so on. There's a whole host of issues, and I think unlike other communities, people don't realize that the disabled community still face a barrage of, disenfranchisement, and we still dissected. And what persons without disability don't realize is that we want to contribute just like any other person, and therefore, when we have things like different categories, we tend to be secluded even in categories like, for example, national programs and so on, national awards, etc. I think that when you contribute, you don't contribute just for the disabled community, but when you get things done, you get it done for your country. So you do not seclude it and say, this is a disabled category and so on. You say, okay, this is what this person contributes as this individual and not as a person who has a disability. And I think that when you refer to persons with disability and seclude them, then person will say, oh, this person has a disability. But if you say, this is, for example, this who was supposed to be my guest today, Cohen Thomas, right? He's the PRO for the Trinidad and Tobago chapter for the Disabled People International. And suppose he gets an award, they would say award for the disabled, right? No, you say Cohen Thomas, who contributed towards, let's say, the vulnerable in society. So we went there.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
It sounds like it's like Kerwin is joining us on the Zoom right now. Kerwin, are you there? All right.
Oh,
no, we just heard something.
He's there.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Kimberly, I know you want to talk, Shamla.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask her. First of all, I wanted to introduce myself because I've never really, we've never formally met her.
Yeah, never met.
I just always see her, so I was excited to be like, oh my gosh, Shamla, hi. I'm Kimberly. I see your program all the time. Kind of fangirling a little bit. But I wanted to, hi Shamla, there she is. Hi, morning. How are you? Okay, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. I'm not, we don't seem to be hearing Shamla, but I know this morning I was talking to the corporate communications manager, and she was saying that they're actually doing some things for the disabled community at the airport. And I think one of those things is that they're putting in 14 parking spaces, particularly for people with disabilities. And so I wanted to talk to Shamla. Shamla, you there with me?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here.
Nice. I was just this morning we had the corporate communications manager from the Airports Authority, and I know you were talking about making more recommendations and things for people with the disabled, people in the disabled community. And what Ms. Joseph was saying was that the Airports Authority is getting on board, and they are now making way for people from the disabled community to be more comfortable at the airport. And I think one of those things was, for example, the parking spaces and making sure that you have a smooth process when you visit the airport. So I think that was something to look forward to.
Yeah, well, my guest today is supposed to actually come on. That was one topic of discussion. Yeah. But from my point of view, I think it's a good move. I remember last year having the Minister of Works and Transport, and I mentioned to him that having a mandate that, they have not legislated it yet, but in terms of all public buildings having a disabled car park. Yes. And I think that will create a domino effect in terms of, okay, you have a disabled car park, therefore you want to accommodate person with disability, therefore there needs to be access in building and accommodation for the persons with their respective disabilities. So it's a good move. And they need to look at it in a holistic spectrum as opposed to, okay, just having a disabled car park. But I think having that is actually a first step in having, a broad accessibility in terms of building access and access that accommodate persons with disability and dealing with persons with hidden and non-hidden disabilities.
Of course. Of course. Hi, Shamla, morning. Natasha here. So I just wanted to ask you a question. I know that you are very passionate about this, obviously, but from your point of view, what is the main challenge or the biggest challenge that the disabled community faces? And what do you think can be done to at least start the process? I know we were just talking about access, of course, with parking, but is that it or is there something else?
Yeah, so that's a pretty tough question in terms of, because there's a whole host, but I think we are still stigmatized and we are still not seen in public spaces, and we are still not, we are still, I guess, people still see us as not being able to contribute, and I don't blame society, because I always say, if society does not see something and they see it for the first time, it will be like an alien to them, and they will be curious.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Shamla, we have...
I have Cohen here.
Yes, you have to win there.
PRO, as I mentioned, for the Disabled People International Trinidad and Tobago chapter, and he had to talk about a whole host of issues when it comes to disabled, and he has actually ground experience working with the disabled, and I guess meeting with stakeholders. So Cohen, I think you were hearing our discussion earlier.
Definitely I was.
Right.
Yes.
So can you just sum up what we discussed in terms of, what is the main issue for persons with disability? Yeah.
So thank you so much, Shamla. Thank you to TTT and your viewing audience. Shamla, definitely the issues of persons are different, who are differently able are wide and far. Some of the issues and the more pertinent issues right now that we face are the issues with the Eldamo service. The Eldamo service, for a long time, even before the pandemic, has been almost null and void. It has not been working, and there are some of the problems experienced overall. Persons who are differently able are not able to go to school and to go to work. Some of them are the differently able persons in terms of emergencies and situations that affect them to go to clinics and to go to health centers. They cannot access the transportation. The same. In Tobago, it's the same situation. With Tobago, they are facing challenges, and they have identified some of the recommendations that we want to make for some of the users there in Tobago. There were 5 buses originally allocated for Tobago, but there are uncertainty of how many are actually working. And I think right before the pandemic, there was one particular bus that was working, and that particular bus right now, I think that everything has shut down as it relates to the Eldamo service. So I'm pleading with the authorities at the PTSC to make the necessary arrangements and put some level of restoration as it relates to the transportation, which is the Eldamo service, the management of PTSC. We are pleading, and we have sent letters numerous times to the PTSC in regard to this issue, and this is one of our main issue. All right, the service was suspended, and it has not really got back to the regular schedule. I don't know what is the situation, if it's funding, whatever. So I'm pleading to the Honorable Mr. Rohan Sininan to look into this matter so that we can be able to get some kind of alleviation of this issue. The other issue that we face, Shamla, is the situation with housing. Housing is one of the critical areas, and we know that the policy of the agency is one in which they allow 5% of the allocations for persons who are differently able and the elderly. And even in times past, even in the times of Mr. George Daniel, and they would have been able to get housing at that time when Mr. Manning was the Prime Minister of the country. And we are saying now to the agency that we need to review the policy for persons who are differently able and get them into the scheme of things where they can be allocated that 5%. We need to get that. Letters were sent to the agency in regards to this issue, and we really want to get feedback from the new minister, the Honorable Camille Robinson-Regis, as a priority on this issue, and we want to get some type of attention. And I know we're running for time. Shamla.
I think we discussed 2 out of the several issues, but definitely due to technical issues, I think I would definitely have you back to discuss the other issues with regards to social development.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Shamla, if I could just say boldly, I think that the issues of persons who are differently able are really put on the back burner, and I want to applaud the people at TTT for giving us this segment here. And I think that we need to kind of extend your segment a little more to 30 minutes, so we can be able to discuss more, because this is an issue just like any national issue, like the 2% that is being offered to the public servants and all the other issues that are critical in terms of the lives of persons who are differently able. So I think that I want to ask the management of TTT as well to really look into giving you extra time so that we can be able to divulge more and get some more information out in terms of recommendations on how we can fix the situation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Cohen, for that feedback, and thank you for coming and just sharing your expertise with us with regards to working with the disabled community. And I definitely will have you back to discuss the other topics. So, but guys, we are out of time, but I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique and Different. As I always say, be good, be good. Bye, guys. Bye, Rockers. I'll remember your name. Don't worry.
TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Kids, speak up against abuse.
It is not acceptable for you to be abused in any manner.
From your parents, family members, or peers.
You have the right
to refuse
the abuse.
Report it to anyone.
Guidance counselors,
doctors, teachers, or even your neighbors.
Anyone who can help.
Speak up
against abuse. Speak up. Speak up.
Speak up.
Speak up.
Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
Positivity to me is a way of life. It's a way of being.
I like words.
Tactical.
If I had so much
this place
outside of the community.
So we know one of my young leader.
Music is the healing kind of new skill to do something.
You want this to be 25% of your meal.
You can go to Olympics too.
Tokyo 2020 became the goal.
And we're going to talk about achieving.
And that was my dream, to get 9 ones.
Out of the word achieve, you're left with ICE. Now everybody could achieve and have.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the questions you want answered. Exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are Delving Deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Paula Gopiskun.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody.
It's your girl Didi, and we are back with another episode of We Outside. You know we have been hitting you with events week upon week, greatness happening, and it continues to happen.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm real good, I'm real.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over. Hi everyone, it's your girl K. Allen Maloney here, and I'm here to invite you to 100.1 FM Jazz, a fusion of music and culture. This would be at the Waterfront, June 4th, 2022. I'm going to be a feature act of Carl Beaver Henderson production. Guys, get your tickets now. See you there. My God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them are bad. Them rejoice in a evil, but Father I gotta pick him out like weevil. Oh no wicked set of people, principalities and powers can't stop God people. So me put on the helmet of salvation, take up the sword, the word, the revelation, taking the word of God throughout the nation. Still I couldn't see it a dire situation, but the hour it a come when every knee shall bow, nobody can deny the Father or the Son. The hour it a come, even the truth of God, a roll of the liar them tongue. Them attacky, them on a road, them never walk. Them attacky, them on a road, them never walk. Call the fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Them a ballin', say them a ballin'. Call the fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Say them a ballin'. Send down your Holy Ghost fire, tack in a heart and a one like a proper. A bag of Saddam, I calling themself pastor. And who know that you up your hand against your brother. Select them youths up now, don't know the order. No real love man out here cold like winter. Before you look to hit and chastise the brother, look one find a mirror, we don't deal with them style, yeah. Holy fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Say them a ballin', say them a ballin'. Call the fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Send down your fire, your Holy Ghost fire. Send down fire again, your Holy Ghost fire. Send down your fire, your Holy Ghost fire. Send down fire again, your Holy Ghost fire. Why? Call the fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Say them a ballin', say them a ballin'. I may say call the fire brigade, my God, I just bring down fire upon the wicked again, and the people them a ball. Them a ballin'.
Gentlemen, Rhonda Love is here with us in studio this morning, bringing down that fire.
Yes.
First thing in the morning, Rhonda, you're born real fire there just now, no? I hear all kind of people get born up in that fire, you know.
Well.
How long have you been doing this music thing?
I have been singing since the age of 8, actually.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're going past 8 now.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So I started my first recording actually in 2019 with Sincerity Studios with the song Come See a Man. From that, I did some work with Shimmy and John. I did some Christmas songs, last year. And recently I released Fire.
Right.
With J Prince and Jayla Productions.
And that's that one that we just heard, of course.
Yes.
But you've always been doing gospel music?
Yes.
And why? Why you choose to stay in that lane only?
Well, actually, I grew up in church.
Right.
So it's basically from foundation, you know, and it has always been, music has always been a part of me. And I did calypsos actually in school and whatnot. So, you know, I got a little taste of that as well. But, you know, as the word says, teach a man the word of God and he will not depart from it. So, you know, it has always been with me to do ministry through music.
And you know, you're doing the ministry just now, and I heard you even burning out some of the pastors.
I mean, it's not to bash. I am not here to bash anybody.
You burn a whole fire, you mean?
But, I mean, we need to recognize, you know, where we supposed to be and the call that God has placed on our life. And we need to not focus on the distractions and focus on God. So we need to, you know, burn out all of these things that don't make sense and really focus on the Most High.
And give the focus where it's supposed to be. Rhonda Love in studio with us, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to do one more for us. The same one you just mentioned, Come See a Man, if you don't mind.
Yes.
We'll go to the top of the hour with that one. But on behalf of Natasha Lake and, of course, Kimberly D'Souza, my name is Raucus, reminding each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire and together we achieve. See you guys tomorrow, God's willing. It's going to be a wonderful Wednesday. Rhonda Love, take us to the top, please. Let me come see a man.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Say maybe she was a timid little girl, wanted so much in life and had big aspirations. Maybe wanting a family and maybe somewhere just to call her own. But whatever she wanted could never have amounted to what the Savior wants to give. So come see a man who took a look at me and told me all about myself. Come see a man speaks with authority and is unlike no one else. Come see a man who can quench your thirst with the true and the living water. Come see a man. Oh, come see this prophet man. Oh, come see a man who is none other than the great I am that I am. Come see a man. Oh, come see this man. Come see this man they call Jesus. She was confused and had to think, but why would he ask a girl like her for a drink? But little did she know the gift he bought was worth more than gold. But could he be the Messiah? The one who was sent by the Father, the one who would set us all free. So come see a man who took a look at me and told me all about myself. Come see a man speaks with authority and is unlike no one else. Come see a man who will quench your thirst with the true and the living water. Come see a man. Oh, come see this prophet man. Oh, come see a man who is none other than the great I am that I am. Come see a man. Oh, come see this man. Come see this man they call Jesus. Now the time is coming when true worshippers will worship in spirit and in truth. Very little you know of who you worship, but in me there is true salvation. So come see a man who took a look at me and told me all about myself. Come see a man speaks with authority and is unlike no one else. Come see a man who can quench your thirst with the true and the living water. Come see a man. Oh, come see this prophet man. Oh, come see a man who is none other than the great I am that I am. Come see a man. Oh, come see this man. Come see this man they call Jesus. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody.
It's your girl Zidi, and we are back with another episode of We Outside. You know we have been hitting you with events week upon week. Greatness happening, and it continues to happen.
I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm real good, I'm real.
Successful parenting through COVID-19. Being at home with your child for a long time can feel stressful, especially when they misbehave. Children can also feel stressed as their routines have changed. Manage negative behavior through creating schedules, planning indoor activities and outdoor activities, giving responsibilities, and rewarding good behavior. All children can be mischievous. You can discipline without yelling or physically harming by giving timeouts, taking away privileges, and even giving chores. If you need to, take a break. Listen to your children's feelings and be supportive. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, and risky sexual behavior. This message is brought to you by these partners.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the questions you want answered. Exploring government policies and how they impact you. We are Delving Deeper.
Join TTT this Thursday at 6 p.m. for Delving Deeper with Minister the Honorable Paula Gopiskun.
morning. Welcome to TTT News. I am Roxanne Suraj, topping our stories at this time. A decision has been taken by the Port of Spain City Corporation that wrecking will resume in the capital city on June 21, 2022. Via a statement posted to social media, the corporation said following a meeting recently, illegal parking and parking difficulty in the city were both addressed. It stated that Mayor Joel Martinez shared his own experiences with parking in the city and subsequently announced his decision to write to the acting commissioner of police, advising the resumption of wrecking in Port of Spain. All impounded vehicles will be stored at the car park at South Quay temporarily. A young adult male is amongst this country's latest COVID-19 fatalities. In its latest update, the Ministry of Health confirmed that 4 people have died in the past 24 hours as a result of the virus. They are 1 elderly male, 2 elderly females, and 1 young adult male. The deaths take this country's COVID-19 death toll to 3,916. There are also 227 new cases of the virus. Active cases now stands at 9,233. And 183 people remain at hospital where they are being treated for COVID-19. In sports, a new report says FIFA and Qatar's claims that 2022 World Cup will be carbon neutral are misleading. Carbon Market Watch says the tournament will not achieve a net zero carbon footprint, despite claims it would be the first football World Cup to do so. Researchers believe calculations ignore major sources of emissions. The report highlights an underestimation of emissions associated with building new stadiums, with 7 of the 8 venues having been built from scratch and the other one extensively redeveloped. Last June, a FIFA report said the 2022 World Cup would produce up to 3.6 million tons of carbon dioxide, which is more than some nations produce in a year. Internationally, Taiwan says it deployed fighter jets to warn off 30 warplanes sent by China into its air defense zone. The incident on Monday marked the biggest incursion since January. It came days after U.S. President Joe Biden warned China against invading Taiwan, and on the same day as a U.S. official visited the island to discuss security with leaders. China has heightened up the frequency of its air mission in recent months, claiming they are training drills. Such moves have angered Taiwan and increased tensions in the region. China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province which it can take by force if necessary. And that was the latest news to the hour. I am Roxanne Suraj, wishing you a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs, gyms and play mats, playpens, cribs, baby swings, changing tables, diaper bags, clothing and accessories, and the widest range of educational toys. We carry Infantino, Dr. Brown, Avent, Graco, Chico, Fisher-Price, VTech, Leapfrog, Disney Baby, Delta Children, Medela, and Twist Shape. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McLean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. No credit card required. Free delivery throughout Trinidad and Tobago on orders over $300. Cash or links on delivery. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Alligator. Counting is fun. Start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a zebra. I have stripes. Now we know our ABCs. Let's have fun and walk with me. Here we go. go for a walk. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4. Walk around. Let's do some more. Great job.
You working with Mommy?
Are you ready to learn about colors and shapes? This is a purple oval. Here's the froggy. The frog hops on the lily pad. Music time!
Learning fun is just a click away with a brilliant baby laptop.
Now available in-store at Forces flagship McBean or shop online at dbesttoys.com. Call or WhatsApp 332-BABY. That's 332-2229. Nationwide delivery available. Cash or links on delivery.